I'm gonna need some water. Alright. Alright, hello and welcome to another show of Zero to Hero. We miraculously... Oh, we're not on that yet. We miraculously made it to week 8. I honestly did not believe that this was going to go beyond 5 weeks. So, I'm happy. 8-Track's been playing a lot. We've been seeing improvement, and we're really just aiming to grind out before Evo. And I should probably not have Facebook in the background. Alright. So, let's see. Oh. There we go. Week 8. Reaction windows and baits and the Sheik ditto.
Hey, you haven't shared your screen with me.
Oh, yeah. I always forget to do that. And the reason why I always have to call you is because if you call me, I can't share my screen. I don't know why. It just happens.
Oh.
Okay. So, I wanted to just talk about some more things about the neutral game and just some things that are important. I think a lot of fundamentals will come out of this. So some of it is kind of touches and overlaps on what we talked about before, but some new things as well. And what did we talk about last week?
What did we talk about last week?
I don't know.
I don't remember.
It may be in that slide.
Platforms. Wow, good tip. Helping me out. We talked about platforms.
Uh-oh, my computer, my computer's being stubborn today. Alright. So, we talked about platforms. Anything in particular that sticks with you?
I'm trying to remember what we talked about last week. Like, what were the examples? What were the core? What games did we review?
We talked a lot about, so just to go back, we talked about like the angles you can cover, and they're fundamentally different, and there's certain characters that you want to,
Yeah, okay, I remember that. I remember we talked about platform camping, we talked about, using platforms to move around, not being so predictable by movement on the ground. Yeah, I've been using that. I've been using it more. Sometimes I'll just I'll jump on platforms and just start running around for a bit just to make them move, make them not, corner me.
Yeah.
It's nice.
It's like moving the ball around in basketball. I always use basketball analogies because it's always cool. Do you remember your pool number?
A9.
A9.
Or A8. It was A9 originally, and I had a lot of Falcos in my pool. And then the morning of the thing, I woke up and finally changed it. And I had no more Falcos.
Did it make you sad?
It's pretty sad. I was pretty sad because I really wanted to play Falcos.
Alrighty, well, looking at your results.
Okay, yeah, there it is.
Not too shabby.
It was alright. I wanted 6-3. Came really close in one of the sets, the one versus Conti, or Canty, I don't know, I think it's Conti. Last stock game 3, I didn't clutch it out. Bummed about it, but overall getting to play 9 best of 3s versus good players in the tournament, or just other players in the tournament, was super exciting. I got a variety of things to learn from. It was a great, well-run, fun tournament, I have to say overall, so really liked I'm Not Yelling.
Nice. You took a game off of Westfall's too. Look at that. Look at that.
Did take a game off Westfall's. So happy.
You hear that here, folks. Let's see. We're gonna circle that. Alright.
Just to be clear, that was his Falcon. He played Falcon game 1 and was trying to style on me, and I sort of stopped it. Stopped it from happening, and then he switched to Fox and started wave shining me back and forth. So, I got styled on game 2 and 3, but I'm glad I got 1.
Who's Zubert?
Who is he? I don't know. He seemed like a good player. Definitely made quick work of me with it. I think he was a Falcon.
Okay.
And just sort of messed me up.
Aww.
Conti was a Fox, and Quan was also a Fox.
Quan was the Falcon. Quan's the Kenny.
Yeah. Oh, Kenny. Okay, yeah. He messed me up. He was really good.
Yeah.
I felt like he was just moving faster than me. punching better than me. He didn't fall for like my just hold down and F tilt every approach thing. That was my entire goal.
Yeah.
He did a lot of grabs to start off combos. Yeah, he messed me up. He moved a lot quicker. And then, so Zebra must have been the Fox. And he, I mean, I guess our sets were pretty close, but he was also just a little bit better in neutral.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Well, too, you got 5 wins. You had a positive record, so we're off to something.
Definitely take it.
Yeah. All right. Okay, so let's go to this week's lesson. So this week, I mean, I felt so bad last weekend because I just concluded that I can beat Falcon, but nothing else. I beat Nick M. Whittier to get the first seed. I beat Silent Spectre, and I beat Kai. But I lost to, like, everybody else. I 9-0'd my pool, but I didn't beat anyone spectacular.
Well, we'll take it, dude. Those are good players.
All right, so we're going to talk about reaction windows. So fundamentally, this comes in every game, whether it's basketball or League of Legends and like rotating, or StarCraft and identifying a build and then being able to react before something happens, right? Every game fundamentally has, like, you see something and you have a reaction window to respond in some way, shape, or form. And the better players have better reaction windows. And so what I'm trying to kind of express here is like, let's say you were Nova, the Mutaking Marth, right?
Mm-hmm.
You'd probably be able to premeditate what you're gonna do to the blue Marth, like in this really long range, and it'd probably work against a bad player because their reaction window is gonna be that large, and they're not gonna have a response.
Right.
But you try to approach from here against a good player, and you start going towards them, they're going to respond and counter space you, and if you try to overcommit into them, you're in for a very fun time.
World of Hurt.
Yes.
You're in for a world of hurt.
Where is that from? Is that Hawkeye?
You know, I'm not sure where it's from originally. I know it's from Toph quoting it in commentary, and I just think
it's a Marvel 3 thing. But anyway, so against bad players, the reason why you can get away with these full screen dash attacks and like full screen grabs and, I don't know, YOLO aerials is because the reaction window is really bad. They're not going to respond.
Right.
But against good players, you try anything from here, they're going to dash dance you, they're going to counter poke you, and they're going to destroy you.
Especially if you like whiff, which is what I think you're sort of leading towards with my play. Because I'll do those things all the time and just assume, like, if I whiff, they're not going to react fast enough to get me, and if I hit, then I get a combo, and it's like just sort of stupid.
Yeah. Did you watch Top 8 yesterday?
I did, of course.
Yeah.
I was there.
I mean, if you like really watch, Armada goes through trades, so Peach is a little different, but like watch like Marth versus like Fox, and that relies a lot on like forcing a character to whiff and then punishing them and going to town. A lot of characters are like that.
That was like the core of that matchup, it seemed like, from watching it. It was like constantly the Marth is spacing a little bit backwards, turn around, and then grab when Fox whiffed the Nair or something.
Yeah. And so you begin to notice that, right? That's probably something you wouldn't have noticed right away, but like that's like something that's like fundamental to a lot of matchups. It's just like just good spacing. And a lot of it is like, so we'll like go on the converse end of it, but reaction windows are really important, and the reason, and we'll explain why later. So as a training tool, and this could be your homework, is try to find movement options to get into that magical green length zone and make reactionary decisions closer.
Okay.
I guess what I mean by this is I feel that when I watched you last week, you like to approach like from this range, and that's a little bit more far than what I'd like to see as you develop. And I know that's like really uncomfortable to like run up and go this close because they can also kind of go in, and it's a very like awkward spot, I guess. But you need to learn how to get here and to play in these like ranges where like you're here and like playing closer and then forming a reaction when in a spot where they can't really react to you.
Makes sense. When you watch Mango and Lucky play their friendlies on Mango's channel, they're so good at like the micro spacing. Like they always stay close to each other and play in that zone. So it's like, I can see what you're saying. Once you get super comfortable with that, the possibilities you have are much higher.
Yeah, because like when you go here, just like from a timing stance, it's like one 1000, 1.5 1000, and that's like more than enough time for them to react. But if you're here and you throw out a command, like that's like a half a second. Granted, they could probably react somewhat, but like they're forced to make a bad decision, like a decision that's not purely reactionary.
Right.
So typical bad habits. So this is like a video for me. Is that like, so this is just for Sheik mains in general. Is you see me dashing, but Marth can have a response. So I was actually like a little bit further. I was like right around here when I started the dash attack. But look at all that space that Ty could react to.
Right.
So I start the dash attack here, and he actually reacts and just grabs me. And like those are the things that like will kill you.
Yeah, that makes sense.
This is an issue that a lot of characters have, and a very common thing that low-level players have. Dash attacks as Sheik, full screen nairs as Fox and Falcon, mindless short hop laser into aerial across the screen. So this is probably why, and it goes back to bad players will give you these large reaction windows, and they won't punish you, and they'll get hit. But good players, their reaction window is narrower, and they're going to be able to respond. So that's probably the symptom of why that kind of happens.
Sure, makes sense.
So why we want to force kind of a, so like forcing a reaction is something that Sheik needs to do to win. When you play Fox, when you see a Falcon, you don't apply pressure to them, they're going to dash dance and dominate you. Like if you just stand on the other side of the stage and start needling, like there's no pressure on them. And so,
Right.
But then there are some things that like work in Melee. Melee is a really fast-paced game, and because of that, as much as people want to be like frame perfect and like do all this like nonsense of like, you know, perfection, I mean it's not a bad thing, but there are limitations to it because like you have human reactions and you have to respond to things, and that's like, I don't know what human reaction speeds are, and technical precision.
14 frames is what I heard on average.
Okay.
So there you go.
Like a quarter second.
Yeah.
And there's also a technical precision that like limits.
It's like, you feel like something pricks you. You have 14 frames.
Yeah.
Before you're, so it's not that perfect always, obviously. Otherwise, you can get all these Sheik down throw techniques perfectly.
Yeah. And so technically, so like to counter the limitations of just having your opponent be able to react to everything, or like, so because of these, or sorry, let me rephrase that. Because of these like limitations, like we can't react perfectly. You have to be preemptive to a loose degree, no matter what. Like it's inevitable that you can't fully react to everything.
Right.
Both for yourself and both for your opponent, take advantage of the fact that your opponent will have to be preempted to a certain extent. So like this example of Kirby Kaze walking towards KK, or Kirby Kaze running towards Kira, is that he was originally here, and he's like walking, but he could have threatened a dash attack and grab. And as he's walking, he forces a preemptive spot dodge, and then he just runs up and down smashes him.
That's amazing, yeah.
And that's just purely just threatening with space and forcing a reaction, because you know that threat of that he can potentially do that is there, that he could just run up and grab in that timing window, and that's why Kira did it.
That's a great example, yeah, makes sense.
Yeah, so
actually, yeah, a lot of times I notice in my own play where people just spot dodge my grabs, and if I just like threatened it in any sort of way, they would still do it. I know 100% they would still, like, if they're not reacting to my grab, they're reacting to me coming into this space where I would normally grab.
Yeah.
But because I do it every time, they just do it on habit, and yeah, so it's pretty good.
So with bad players, these are very noticeable things where you can just react. And ultimately, it's the reason why he does it. I mean, I'm not saying that the way that the preemptive spot dodge is necessarily a bad thing. Maybe like there was some rock paper scissors thing going on, but everybody has to like make a reaction, and it just so happened that KK forced a spot dodge there. Okay, so just little things. We're gonna go over the Sheik matchup, something that you want to go over. And in 2015, dittos are heavily grab dependent. I think it's inevitable that with KK losing to Kira, that gentleman's agreement is going to trickle down and no longer be a thing anymore.
Right, that's it. I remember end of the day I talked to Gar, and he said, I'll say it in a polite word, but he just said, chain grabs are done. Don't ever do it. And if you just learn how to chain grab, you'll beat 95% of these bad Sheiks, these bad blank Sheiks.
Yeah. To be fair, I feel like I'm better. I'm better than Gar in every other matchup against the Sheik Ditto, and other than the Sheik Ditto, which he has me in, I destroy him in every other matchup. But that's just me holding the soul. I mean, yeah. I got chain grabbed like literally like all.
He practices it. Him and Ladanda's play and are pretty good at it. So
yeah. And so learn to find grab opportunities and also how to avoid getting opened up. And so we'll just go over the throws. So I mean, there's like two obvious ones. There's the DI away and the DI in. So assume that Red Sheik is doing the throw, and it's actually just pretty simple. If they DI away, you just dash and grab them.
Okay, dash grab.
Or like just like dash. The hard part is like getting the dash like perfect, because like sometimes you just don't move. So if they DI away, dash and grab. If they DI in, this is like a little tricky because you just have to like turn around and grab. But if you dash, you're not gonna get the hit. Like you just have to like turn sides, and it's like a very
flick.
It's kind of a precise input, more than you would think it would be.
Right, that's why it takes practice. That's why like these guys are doing so well with the chain grab and Sheik Dittos, because the other person will pick it up, obviously, during the match, because they're not going to not do it, but they can't do it as well. They haven't practiced it.
And then we have the modded DIs, and so I'm going to explain both examples. So what KK did was a slight DI at this percent. And as you get higher percent, it becomes a little ambiguous on whether or not you could get the chain grab. And sometimes, I don't know the exact percentages, but slight DI becomes its own manifestation. And in this you have to make a decision of do I go for the down throw, but then there's a chance that he can escape, or throw out and tilt into a combo. In this case, on the left, Kira did the up tilt into fair.
Okay.
Yeah. Also, going back to here, if they DI in like that, you could pivot grab, but that's like at slightly higher percentages, and it's a little demanding too. But if you like doing that, then that's an option. And the DI away, there's one little point to add. I don't know why exactly this happens, but jump cancel grab has like a narrower time window than just normal grab.
Because you have to wait for the frames of the jump, right? So it's like, yeah.
So if you have a chance, just go for the normal grab. One of the few cases where that happens. Go ahead.
For almost any chain grab, you should never jump cancel grab. It's always like makes it harder.
Yeah. So those are the two, and then so modded DI. So the one on the right. So I've talked to Gar, I've talked to Ladandis about this, and it's actually like really hard for me to like really evaluate what to do. So if they DI away at 0%, let's say you got the grab at 0.
Yeah.
And you down throw them, they're like at 11. If they DI away, I'm not sure if there is a timing window where you can dash and grab. I think if you do, it's like a you have to be near frame perfect.
Sure.
And I know it's like, I feel that the value of that is like, it's so hard to do that I don't want to risk dropping the grab, that I would allow them to tech and go for the tech chase, and there's a much more generous timing window to react to that.
Yeah, Sheik's tech chase on Sheik is pretty good.
Yeah.
And
so what I like to do, so the meta is this: you down throw them, you walk towards where they DI away, and 99% of Sheiks will DI away because they don't want to deal with any of that chain grab stuff, and they're like scared. So like I just like 99% of the time you can just pretty much assume that they're gonna DI away and then like tech roll away. But granted, ideal you'd want to react.
Yeah, that's just the one you should cover most often.
And then we have two other situations, and this is where you have to kind of just recognize situations. So Kira down throws Kirby Kaze onto that, and around like 60, depending on stage and the height of the platform, they can tech the platform, as seen on the picture on the left.
Right.
I think it happens around 60 on Yoshi's, maybe a little faster. So you have to be prepared and be able to just do a normal platform follow-up. And in the situation on the right, we have them going off stage. Sometimes you can go. You have to get a feel for this. You can sometimes grab them still as they're DIing away like that. If you're Red Sheik, but if they're like at 60 or after the grab, I just drop zone fair. And then what happens is you grab ledge. They have to up B on stage, and then you grab them again, and then you do more fun stuff. Yeah.
Yep.
So those are like the main things. So, so for it to go here, I was kind of practicing a bit. All right. Can you see me?
Yep.
So this. So I'm like really bad, but one thing you could do to practice. I'm really bad at this right now, but you could practice it against Link, or if you have 20XX and have a Sheik.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I got you. You're practicing against Link because it's not 20XX.
So I missed it. Yeah. So overall, don't be a scrub and learn the chain grab.
Yeah. I think it's just gonna happen now. It's like there's no more time for it.
Yeah. Anyway, I missed like everything, and that was depressing.
Yeah, I can see why. The Sheik ditto is not your thing.
Well, I mean, I'm 2-1 against Ladandis. Like, no CGs. Like, I think I win, but CGs are part of the matchup, so I gotta learn it, and so should you.
Absolutely. I'm gonna start from I'm just gonna do it. Might as well. I don't want to get into a tournament and play a Sheik and he chain grabs me. I don't know how to do it. I don't want that to happen, so just gotta learn it.
Alright. So potential escapes. So if you can go in the reverse situation, you want to learn the platform percentages where you can play a mix-up. And this could help you potentially have damage control. So also think of the reverse situation. Also important to note, don't pummel, just don't risk it at low percentages, like because the top players will get out. And conversely, if you're in that situation, you should be pummeling out. If they throw one pummel at less than 10, you should be escaping.
Okay.
Okay, so there are many ways to like find grabs, but okay, so one common example in this match is like a lot of people like to get into forward air wars, right?
Yeah.
Very fundamental is that if they're overzealous, what you can do is like dash in, dash out, bait them to fair. So you see Kira coming with like a fair going down, and KK actually was here and he dashed away, and then he dashes in and then grabs.
Okay.
So that's one common setup. You have to kind of be aware of how that happens though.
I think Sheik, once she gets the ledge, it's a little bit easier for her.
Let's see. Let me find the moment.
Oh, snap. Shout out to Kira, by the way. He did super well.
Yeah. You know, it wasn't just frankly the chain grabs. I felt that he won the neutral more.
Yeah, he just seemed really good at the matchup.
Yeah.
I was bummed about was that like Leffen rocked him so hard it almost broke my spirit.
Yeah.
The mage versus Fox.
You know, if there's anything that I was really disappointed in, it was the pick ban phase of a lot of the top 8.
Oh yeah?
Yeah. If I had Kira on my side, like I told us in the morning, if I had Kira and I got like a minute with him before the match with Leffen, well, I already left by then. I would have said, Leffen likes big stages. He likes horizontal. He's fundamentally better than you at the horizontal dash dance game. You do not want to play that. Ban Dreamland and ban FD.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, because Kira did pick it up on Battlefield at the end. He was closer. Would have been a closer set. I think that the same thing about Mango and Armada in the finals. He kept taking him to Yoshi's. Yoshi's is like Armada's best stage in the Peach Fox matchup, I feel like, nowadays. It's like, I don't know, dude. His follow-ups are so good.
With Mango, like, I would have whispered to him, you have time, Peach is limited, can't cover a lot, just take your time.
Seriously? FD or Dreamland? Or, I don't know, dude. It seems like they could have better, like, I don't know.
Well, there are two things. Like, over the summer, Yoshi's worked really well for him.
Sure.
But he did not laser, and that was his flaw. I think the Dreamland match helped him remember, like, say, like, I have space, I'm gonna laser. I think it reminded him.
When he had space, I feel like, I don't know. He played amazing in that one Yoshi's match that he won, but if he went to more big stages, I think he would have picked up faster just he can.
Yeah, like, just, like, learned, like, that he can. He does laser on small stages, and I think when he does that, it's just, like, really good.
Right.
So finding grabs. So a lot of the game is, like, a lot of Sheik dittos are very cyclical. Like, you can start out by throwing a lot of hitboxes at them, and then they shield more. And then once you start establishing that you're gonna throw hitboxes, you can start going to grabs. But once you start grabbing, then they're gonna start throwing out spot dodges and bad tilts, and your response to that is just to wait and then just to punish them after they spot dodge or whatever.
Okay.
So the common metagame strategy in Gar was, oh my gosh, every time I went for a grab, he just spot dodge, and so I didn't adapt to that fast enough. And because, like, you know, like, he gets a chain grab, you know, psychologically thinking, he knows that I want the grab, so I run up, go for a raw grab, spot dodges, I get grabbed, and then I lose the stock, and it's just like, So, I was not situationally aware. But, I mean, a lot of it really just comes down to baiting a lot of bad tilts and spot dodges. Like, if you can just establish space. So, like, Kira does this to him, and there's, like, a classic one, like, run up shield will beat both the bad spot dodge and the tilt. And so Kira runs up, KK does a spot dodge, and then he earns himself a grab.
Oh, that's smart.
Yeah. And so that's actually a really common setup in the Sheik Ditto. It's just a run-up shield. And then you beat tilt, you beat jab, you beat spot dodge.
Interesting. Yeah, I'll be doing that. Does that work in other matchups too? It seems like any matchup where they're really, really afraid of my grab, I don't know, I feel like...
just in general, like, if they're really tilt heavy, run-up shield is super OP.
Okay.
You'll see this a couple times if you watch me play Jeff. Like, I really, like, go like, okay, like, he's just spamming Nair. I'm gonna just run up and shield, and it actually caught him a lot.
I did see that.
Yeah. But overall, you do not want to be really the first person to be making any move, like, whatsoever. Like,
in Sheik Dittos?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, if you make the first move, you're dead. Unless, like, you could get them to stay in shield. You will die. You will straight up just die.
Okay.
Yeah. Any questions so far?
No, it makes sense. It was a bummer. Yeah, people in the chat. Gar's in the chat. It was a bummer that so many Sheiks had to knock each other out at I'm not yelling.
Who did we have? We had... Okay, let's see. From NorCal, we had Shroom, Ladanus, Gar.
Yep. There was you, there was Kira, and there was KK. That's like already 6 really good Sheiks.
And Drug Fox.
Oh, Drug Fox. He plays Fox too, though, right? He plays like Wolf.
Yeah, he plays Sheik now because of 20XX injuries.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's a pretty good lineup. But they all played each other. It was like Sheik, 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 Sheik.
Yeah. And it would have been funny because a lot of the people that are like really bad against Sheik, like Cute Hugs and like Silent Spectre, if they beat one Sheik, they would have gone through like another like gauntlet.
Yeah, they've like these 3x Sheik brackets.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Which is, I don't know, it was a bummer. And some of the good Sheik versus Spacey's matchups, which is like SFAT versus KK, they weren't on stream as far as I can tell. Were they? I don't think so.
I don't know. I think it was probably on the side stream, if anything.
Oh, if it was, it's awesome. I think they may not have... they're not on the YouTube for Showdown, so we'll see. But that match would be amazing. I would love to watch SFAT versus KK, so I hope it's somewhere.
Yeah.
I'm just getting it recorded.
KK is so good. I really wanted him to play Leffen, actually. I thought that would have been a good match.
I mean, Kira, Kira's amazing, but it seemed like I still believe that KK would have had a better shot versus Spaceys than Kira would.
Yeah.
KK's proven so well in that matchup. Like, he plays Leon X all the time. His versus Fox game is just really, really fucking fun to watch. So, would have loved to see that, but hopefully his SBAT games are up somewhere.
They probably are.
Because he said, KK said that was his favorite set from the whole tournament, was playing SBAT. So, we hope so. But let's see what else. Yeah, what'd you think? Would you learn anything from the tournament other than chain grabs?
I learned. I mean, I was just my main frustration was just watching the stage picks and bans. Like, I think that's what was just really frustrating because I was with Mogwai, aka Wes, in the car, and like for example, when PP was up 2-1, I was just like, and then it was PPU's pick. I was just like, do not go FD, do not go FD, do not go FD, PPU. Like, if I had a way to channel like my inner Obi-Wan, I would have been like, Kevin, do not go Final D and do not go Stadium. Like, those are like Leffen's like stages, like other than like Dreamland.
Yeah.
Likewise, I would have told Kira not to pick that stage. I thought Armada's pick bans were really interesting in winners finals, but maybe he was experimenting. I disagreed with a lot of it, and I had money on him, and I'm gonna like, Armada, like, please, like, no, if you go Peach on FD, like, he's gonna go Falco, and you're gonna win this for free. Like, there's just so many things I was just like, please guys, if you want to win, just do this correctly.
Yeah, play the matchup like that. Yeah, I think Mango, as it is at the exact moment, is super behind Armada in pick bans, like the way it's gonna play out. I think he has to learn the Fox Ditto or something. Like, there's no real way he can play that because of his Falco does not seem to have a chance versus Peach. So like, it just puts him in such a bad spot.
Yeah,
I haven't seen Falco. Yeah.
It's gonna be really interesting because I feel this is like an experimental phase for all of them. But it's gonna be really interesting how the double blinds are gonna play out at Evo.
Right, because that's gonna be the super high stakes. There's gonna be no experimenting there. Armada's going to pick the exact matchup that's probably going to give him the best chance to win. And, I don't know. It's going to be pretty tough. Anyway, I don't want to talk too much about Melee history. I mean, Melee's like scene, because I don't know as much about it as you. And, I'm trying to learn. We're watching this game?
Yeah. So, any like watching the Marth and Fox, anytime you have a little bit of lag, you will get punished for it.
Yeah.
Let's see. All this came from a spot dodge, I believe.
Let's see. Oh, spot grabs.
And then he responded.
Chain grabs. Oh my gosh. Quick 70.
Yeah.
Oh, Kamikaze gets him right back. Okay.
See how he landed on the platform, though?
Yeah.
To escape. But here,
they're the best way to punish the laggy landing. But I don't know.
The laggy?
The laggy landing.
There's so many different decision trees that could go into it.
Yeah. It seems like get up grab is like so strong. If you can get it.
Yeah. So he whiffs, gets punished. It's like pretty much like the first to whiff, and if you can have a reaction window to just respond. You have to be really crisp on recognizing the situation, because if you're late, you're going to get spot dodged.
Right. And then you're going to get grabbed or punished harder.
So I really like this situation. Like, this is the one where like KK threatened to like run up and grab, and then he spot dodged, and bam.
Oh, nice needles. Nice. I like the needles in non-spacey matchups. I need to learn those better.
Yeah.
It seems like even it doesn't gimp most of these characters, but like you limits their options. I don't know.
Yeah. What I really liked here was like he utilizes every tool like to his advantage. So just like watch this like little shield drop by Kira coming out.
Oh, sick! Shield drop up there. Not very often seen. Ooh, another one.
It forces the bait. The aerial dash away is just so good.
Okay.
Like this is like the #1 bait getter, and this is why Mango gets like those really janky like aerial wave dash back forward smash. Like it's because of like that spacing and that timing. See?
Yeah. Oh, nice. Yep. Slightly spaced aerials that like look like they're gonna get shield grabbed and then fucking dash away. That's amazing. That's high level stuff.
See, like whoever does the first move usually loses. Watch here. KK whiffs and then Kira punishes. No.
But forcing the person to make the bad first move, like they're with the threatening their space.
Yeah.
So it's not like just like guy's stupid and makes the first move because he's dumb. He's like he's people. So that's cool.
But a lot of it is just like you have to have really tight spacing. Like and we're really good at like spacing for the most part. Ooh,
yeah.
whoa.
Notice how crazy important spacing is in this game.
And Kira's strategy is just punish the lag and just keep them off stage, and then force the side, force them to up B. And if you're ever scared, so this is always a good point. So if you guys are both dancing in
in neutral or
what? If you ever are both like dash dancing and you feel a little uncomfortable in that space, you can always reset and go on a platform for a little bit, so that you don't risk getting grabbed. But it shouldn't be done too often. But if you feel like you're in that tight, like I'm in shield position, and they can 50-50 you for a grab, you can always just jump out and just land on a platform, and you'll take like 10. But at least you're not risking a 50-50 where like you do like a spot dodge and they waited for it and then they grab you, like just to like do risk control.
Right. Yeah, I feel like I've been doing that more in other matchups. Just like if I feel like I don't have an advantage, I just go to the platform and try to run around for a bit and then reset and then get back to center stage. And go from there.
Ah, Kira made a mistake here. So what Kira wanted here, I think he baited KK into that, and I think what he wanted was a dash dance like shield, and then he could have grabbed it. But instead,
people in the chat saying Kira said that Kira's DI helped him so much on a ton of matches today or during the tournament. Think he had extra good slight DI or whatever?
I didn't notice anything substantial. He just made good decisions, but I don't know if there's anything that like allowed him to escape. He did lower like damage, but I don't know if there was anything super spectacular.
Okay.
But he just like did the right decision.
Gars in the chat too, as many people are saying, fair on the shield and then dash away is like one of the first things he does against new people to see what they do out of shield.
Yeah, it's one of the most OP things.
Yeah, it seems really strong.
KK still cut this really close.
KK's amazing. KK, I just love talking to KK this weekend because he just knows so much about Sheik and is pretty eloquent in explaining it.
Yeah.
He's one of the people that like, I feel like a lot of top players are not nearly as good as he is at explaining the things they know.
Yeah.
He's like at least skill that.
He's definitely up there along with the PP and Cactar.
For sure.
I don't know if you ever talked to Cactar.
I talked to him a little bit. He wanted. It was like after a Smash practice I was talking to him. Yeah, he knows a lot too. He's amazing. A lot of people credit Cactar, like a lot of good players are like credit Cactar with helping them learn, which I think is super cool.
Kira missed. Oh, that down smash baited him, or bailed him out.
Like I think PP trains with Cactar, right?
Yeah.
Or trained with, yeah, so that's amazing because that won Apex.
So a lot of it there's only so much defenses like you can cover, and if you let me go back to here. Let me show a different situation.
Sure.
I wish I had two controllers on me right now to make my life easier. I guess I'll go into single player mode. Where was I going with this thought? I mean, so like a lot of like, you see a lot of like four tilts and like this, but like, there's a lot of threads, and you want to keep your movement. This goes back to just dash dancing and going in, because if I'm like running in like this to you, right? You have to respond in some way.
Yeah, in some way.
And if you like allow me to go in, it's like just really important to just keep your dash dance and just like try to like get closer and force your will on them. Because like if I'm on the receiving end of the Sheik ditto and they're like this in front of me, like pretend I'm Zelda, like I'm really scared, like because like I'm super vulnerable and they're forcing me to respond with something really silly, like whether it's like a forward tilt. Because if I don't throw out something, they could just come in, and so. Like, from a defense standpoint, you don't want that position to ever really happen to you, because, like, the 50-50s will go into, like, they could get a grab on you. But in the converse, like, you want to thread that spacing to make them panic into, like, throwing out a bad F-tilt, and basically finding these little reads on them. So if we want to just take a step back and go to, like, neutral, it's like, see how they respond to certain things, and let those be your reads.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the questions you should be asking is, like, are they forward tilting? Are they spot dodging? Are they throwing out these aerials? And then you need to learn the counter spacing to it. If they're throwing out forward air rapidly, like, what should your response be? Like, can you catch them before they're, I don't know, just like a bunch of little things. Sorry, that was like a little bit of a all over the place thought, but pretty much, like, the disaster to losing this match is like getting yourself in a trap position where they're like dash dancing in front of you and like they can mix you up.
Right. Because at worst, or I mean at best for you it's 50-50, but most likely it's like 60-40 or something in their favor.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that makes a lot of sense.
The one thing, so that was like good DI, and that was probably an example of it.
With how KK punishes up B on stage, he does so much different things.
Yeah, and I felt this was the decision where Kira did a better job than KK. So if you watch like the Yoshi's match, Kira just kicked him off stage, but you see like KK here.
Yeah.
So this is where Kira DI, like an example of where Kira DI'd really well, because KK gets no follow up on this.
Right. It just seems like a bad choice to do the down air at all, though.
Yeah.
I don't know.
He was hoping because just like he alternatively, like I really questioned that decision. I think it was suboptimal.
Mm-hmm.
Like, cause he goes here, right? No matter what. But I also I think the best thing he could have done was just get on stage grab. Like, once he recognizes that he has to go here, because he technically could have grabbed ledge, so it's a kind of a 50-50, but not really. Oh,
really, he's never going for that. Like,
oh, sorry. Yeah. Like, I drew it on the wrong screen. He has to go here, or he can go here if he's like really tricky and next level. But you should refresh in vulnerability even before this happens, where you can just stay, get up, once you hear that sound, in a way that if you get up here and they go down here, you're still technically holding ledge and they're gonna die.
Oh, it's amazing.
There's like that, and then you also get to cover this, where if they're on stage, you just grab them again. And then you go into like a chain grab or whatever, and you get more damage. By going for this down air, he was really hoping that Kira did not know the DI and that he was going to DI in this way, so he could get one more follow-up.
Yeah.
But then instead, Kira Wiza got here and he got no follow-up, whereas you watch Kira in the previous matches, he's getting KK off stage every time. But that was still good, but...
Oh, no, that's actually amazing.
That was another good DI.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
Okay. This is like the most amazing part of Kira. Like, this is like, man, like, you're so good.
Yeah.
Okay. Kira, so the classic position, he's getting up, and KK is gonna establish fair pressure.
Yeah.
Kira doesn't budge. KK is trying to bait a shield grab here, or a roll, because he can cover both by running away. Kira's response? Nothing. KK's still fishing. He's still waiting for something. Still waiting. Still baiting. Waiting for the roll. And then he comes in because KK wants to aim for the hit here.
Yeah.
Kira finds the opening here and kicks him.
That's awesome.
Just like that segment was just like mind blowing for me. A lot of people wouldn't appreciate that moment, but like I was just like so mind blown when I watched this. No, doesn't take the bait, reacts, sees the jump, and goes. That just blew my mind. I'm sorry.
Same thing you were showing me with that PewPew H-Box game, where you just is so patient. When you're in like a bad situation on the ledge, you don't like get antsy, you don't get overeager, patient, and you just play the smart action, the smart reaction. So.
And then he takes control and takes the first stock, I think. Oh wait, no. So this is what Kira does. He gets him off stage. Threatens space. Oh, you flubbed. I'm sorry, Kira. You're no longer a good player. But once again, did you see that DI? He landed the platform.
I feel like KK could have gone for a grab again. I don't like all his choices to do these down smashes and down airs and nairs, because Kira keeps DIing him while and teching and like getting back, and I don't know. It seems like more of a random follow up than a guaranteed one.
Against most players that would work, and I would say it was good, but against Kira, like got all the techs he needed to like get that up B quicker, because if he didn't land that platform, I think he would have flew farther away, and KK probably could have had access to the ledge before Kira. I'm not 100% sure, but I feel like that that could have been a possibility.
So I guess it's an example of Kira having like pretty good DI and like taking and stuff. So like,
yeah,
he's like surprising.
And just like look how disciplined Kira is. Okay, not there. He was forced into something, probably the first like kind of desperation, but like. Just like watch how Kira just like so situationally aware to just hold his ground. Runs up shield, sees this, knows that like that fair could be a potential thing. Still shields, doesn't throw out any shield grab because KK is spaced outside that range. He finally goes for it. I think that was like a questionable desperation thing, but I don't harp him because he's been playing so disciplined in the corner.
Right.
Alrighty. If you want to provide insight like on like what you noticed, that'd be totally cool too.
What'd you say?
Oh, okay. If you want to provide insight. So, if I were to point out flaws here, so Kira has invulnerability, and KK wisely, uses it up by, Shino stalling. Always a smart idea. Gets hit here. What I don't like is like you watch KK kind of go in your face, and I think that's the more optimal play. Look at how much space Kira gives. So this is like one of the things like I kind of fault him for. Like Kira has all, KK has all this room now.
Right.
So this is one way to do it. So Kira kind of hung himself here, and this is like a classic way to get a grab in almost all matchups, whether it's Falco, Falcon, if you see them hang themselves with an aerial like this, like where they're in like a fish caught out of water, like badly spaced, like you can react. This is like really a good way to punish. Do you see that?
Yeah.
Works in every single matchup. The classic bait is like a Fox or Falco on top platform. You just dash dance. They throw out an aerial. You dash dance and you grab them.
I've been doing that a lot against Brian Tran.
It works.
Camps platforms up top and then comes down with downers or something. I just dash. He comes down, he misses it, I get a grab. It's amazing. I love it so much.
KK should have a 2-stock lead, but he flubbed the chain grab. And so it's a very common thing that you'll see frequently because a lot of people will opt the aerials. It's not bad, but look at now how KK now hangs himself here.
Ooh, goes for that back here.
Yeah, I mean that back.
Yeah.
To counter that, if you're getting stuck and you hung yourself like that, throw out the back here later, and it'll hit them. Okay. But if you throw it early, then the hitbox like is too high for them to hit. So if you feel like you're the fish out of the water, then you can do that. Like a later back air, like towards the ground, and it'll clip him.
Yeah, I like really late aerials into down smash. It feels so strong on a lot of people. They don't expect it.
Yeah, it's because most of them will be diagonal. Yeah, yeah, it's pretty sick. All right. So most of it kind of revolves around the same idea. Kira just punishes slightly harder. KK actually plays the neutral pretty solidly, but I think Kira just played really smart.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like KK's punishes weren't that crispy.
Yeah.
His punishes on Fox are so good, so it's just weird to see.
Okay, so I'm actually surprised by KK on this, so I'll point it out to you.
Sure.
So KK gets himself stuck as a fish out of water, and I almost think this is like a disrespectful approach, thinking that Kira's just gonna stand there and KK can just fair. But so KK is forced to land here, and he has like nothing active. Now Kira has advantage; he can jump on him and like this. It's like dive kick. Like if I could give an analogy with like fairs instead of kicks.
Yeah.
But now like Kira comes this way and KK, and then Kira dive kicks him, and then look, he's stuck. Now he's shielding, and now he risks a 50-50 into like a grab, and now you're dead.
Yeah.
In theory.
Well, they carry up to land at like 70, right? Or where? Yeah. It's not necessarily dead.
Yeah, he could have reacted there. He was reading an attack in place.
Ooh.
Dude, thank you YouTube for having a slow-mo.
Yeah, it's really good for things like these.
So, once again, that aerial dash dance is a very common trap if you whiff too hard, slightly misspace. This will happen to you.
Oh, amazing. That was amazing spacing. Microspacing.
Yeah, but he misses another tech chase. He missed like 4 so far. That could have been like all of his stocks.
It's like what I do in Sheik ditto. I play Ladandis. I got quite a few grabs. Not quite a few grabs, I'm not going to say. I got a couple of them, and I got like no % off any of it.
Yeah. Like, imagine, like, in Marvel, you dropped your combos. Like, you just look like a bad player. Yeah. Like, if you drop your combos in Marvel. They have, like, a high expectation on themselves not to miss these, like, 160 hit combos. But I'm pretty sure are not as easy as what they look like.
Yeah. No, I mean, it can be easy. They're not as fun to watch as a good melee combo, okay. But I'm sure there's something.
So I got to comment and say that it's all, I mean, a lot of it is also just like good microspacing.
That seems to be just a good player thing in general.
Yeah.
Really good spacing in these micro situations changes the whole game.
Watch like
it's so punishing for small errors.
Watch this forward tilt. Normally a little bit busterish, but watch. Oh, so good. Bait number 1. He could have punished there, but it's hard to react to a whiff grab.
Yeah.
And then look at that second bait. Just like, wow. Like, okay, so we got bait number 1, bait number 2. Watch.
Dash. I love that. I want to practice that. KK's movement is really good.
Dude, we're like the Sheik, we're like the Sheik equivalent of 20 GX in this chat. I just love that all the Sheik mains are like coming out to support this.
Now, dude, let's go Sheik.
I should have Gar, I should have Ladandis, I should have KK on this show, like for like the next episodes.
Seriously, we got to build up the Sheik crew.
Yeah, and once again, just like just another mistake here in this position where what you could do here is if they're on the inside of the stage, if you really want, you could just turn towards them and down smash, and the hitbox will send them far away. The previous down smashes sent them towards the center of the stage, but in this situation, because you're on the outside looking in, if you're KK, you can down smash and they'll go far away. And it's not a bad punish, but I mean, it's good. It does the job of forcing them to be back on stage.
Right.
Yeah. But whoops, nothing. He still has control though. He doesn't lose that. That's a good player thing. And reacts and still has control.
We need a 20 GX thing for Sheik, like the name. I don't know what to call it.
22-2.
22, 2.
All right. So that's like the
6. I like that.
So that's like the basic premise. So like a lot of it, like if you want to learn anything, microspacing, and just like think of like once you get your opening, like how to optimize. So these aren't like particularly new ideas. Chain grabbing is important.
Yeah, I mean that's good fundamentals for every matchup.
Yeah.
But yeah, it makes sense just for.
Just KK's knowledge of footsie is so good. Just like watch this. I'm just like Craigasming. Wow, whiff punish. Amazing.
Have you seen his blog on movement?
Yeah.
Yeah, KK's blog.
Yes, I have.
Yeah, it's amazing. It's like some of the best movement practice ever. I haven't done the whole thing yet because it's like incredibly hard and demanding, but just seeing his movement, it's so crisp and he just controls his character so well.
Yeah, except there when he just got showed up like a scrub.
I'm not saying the decisions are all perfect, but I'm saying if he wanted to do something, I feel like he can. I feel like he can make his character do what he wants to do, which is like hugely important. Because like, there's plenty of times I'm at the level where even if I want to do something, there's not necessarily going to be able to execute even close to like half the time. You won't be able to do 100% of the time.
Yeah.
So that's huge.
Let's see how he's done. It's just good decision making by both players for the most part. Or just like good spacing. I thought the punch game for KK was not optimal, but if you just like watch a neutral game, it's just like, oh my gosh, you guys are so smart and you guys are so good.
These guys are hella good.
Yeah.
I love seeing 2015, dude. You're the Sheik.
You're the Sheik.
Really
we don't even have to wait until 2022.
2022.
This is our year, boys. This is our year, boys. 2015.
2015. I want to see a Sheik win a major. It hasn't happened in a long time. I mean, Meech King, I guess you can count, but he's never played solo Sheik, and he hasn't won a major since Big House 3.
No, Meech King is a traitor. He abuses Sheik like a prostitute and says, "If you can win me money, then I will play you." He does not actually like Sheik.
He doesn't have the heart of a Sheik. He always says Martha's more fun. Martha's not more fun, okay? Sheik is more fun.
He will drop Sheik in an instant if he believes that he can't win money.
Shout out to Meech King, though. He's got some amazing edge guards. Some of the best to ever do it. But I would love to see a Sheik main, like a guy like Shroomed or like KK, just really take a national, or at least a major, some sort of major. That'd be so sick. Because I haven't seen that happen in my short time in the scene, and I've looked at the old games. Like KDJ, maybe? Did he play all Sheik in tournaments when he won? Like I haven't seen.
No, a lot of Fox. Okay, so
there you go.
Reviewing effective range. So if you jump too early, and this is something that new struggle with, and we'll close on this point.
Sure. Yeah, because
your effective range is essentially as long as what your fair is, whatever this is, if you're committing to it. If you're going like down here.
Right.
And the reason why that's a kind of like a bad thing, if you're too preemptive, you have to get them in a certain position before you can decide to jump. Is that KK was presumably here, and so in theory, if KK stood still, it would have worked. But melee, moving targets, people have minds. If they can react to it, they're gonna run away and outspace you. So that should be one of the dictators of whether or not you can aerial in front of them.
How much space they have?
Like if they have like a reaction window to you.
Okay.
Yeah. But if they're in the corner, if they're like clearly holding shield for a while, then they can't move, and then you can start aerialing safely. Otherwise, then it's just like a mix-up, and you're blind reading and hoping that they're gonna stay still. Which a lot of people will do. A lot of bad players will just stay still, and it works because like you can just run up and oh crap, shield, bam, 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 bam.
And you put the pressure.
Bam.
Okay.
Yeah.
But if they don't stay still, so just staying still is a bad idea in general.
You don't want to get opened up, and like that's like the key thing, because like when you're like in any fundamental game, or any fundamental fighting game, if you're blocking and they're moving, that's probably not good.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
And you can just feel it when you play. I always know I start shielding and try to like, I don't know, I end up slowing down. They're running all circles around me, but when I move and to be on the aggressive is so good. Melee is fun in that regard. Because that's aggression, you still have to be aggressive.
Like you don't have to like go super close like what Mango did, but like if Armada's all over you, that's probably not a good sign. And like if you just like watch other fighting games, like you go to like an FGC event that has like Smash, just like watch how people get opened up. Like whether it's Street Fighter, whether it's Marvel, like it's because they're forced to block in some way, and then they have this like weird mix-up thing going up where if they're right, yeah, okay. But then that's like the closing thoughts. Any questions? We've already been an hour. This is so exciting.
It is so exciting. No real questions. I think this is a good lesson. I'm going to practice. I mean, I feel like the great thing about this is I put in the hours to get like the consistency down and like the decisions I want to make, and then you help me a lot with making the right decisions. Like, because obviously this is like the real hard stuff to learn on your own. Like this takes years of like practice and learning and talking to players to figure out the stuff we're doing in this show. And then what I need to practice on my own is just like getting to be able to do it 100 times out of 100. Like I want to be able to do things that I know are right. So it's a cool mix up, and I just need to keep grinding that solo practice.
And once you get that like chain grab done, you'll have the fear of God in them, just like how Hungrybox, Mango, Mewtwo King, like the big six have on everyone else. Like you get them to doubt themselves, and then they start doing dumb things to like because they're scared. And once you can establish that fear of God, you'll move up in tiers in terms of players.
I've already felt like that. Sometimes when I play a long friendly session with Spaceys, especially the ones that don't practice against Sheik very often, I always go for these back throw, these gimps, all that stuff. I practice it a lot. It's like my favorite thing to get good at. So when I start playing these friendly sessions, they'll start beating me a lot at the start, but I get a couple gimps in, they start getting more and more afraid. They get like really afraid of it, and then they start playing worse, and then I get more and more like just straight up like normal kills. It's awesome. I like putting the fear into people, and they start playing worse because of that. It's really cool when you have a strong punish game.
And I think that's part of why like the good players have this subtle advantage just by reputation alone, and just like because they're so good, like the fear of God is already in them.
Yeah, that respect they get. Yeah,
and they get little privileges.
I'll play privilege, except no matter what, no matter how good they are, they don't get to sign up for I'm Not Yelling Late. Apparently, that's no one gets past that. Sheridan is a monster.
He is. So that's pretty much it. Why does it say that we're offline?
I hope we're not offline. It doesn't look like that to me when I have the stream open. I will say we got 100 viewers. That's pretty great. That's like double our usual average. We're like growing as a show. Our first show had like 400 or something, but that was like the premiere.
That's because we put it on Reddit. That was the magic formula.
Yeah. But like, cool, 100. That's dope.
Alrighty. I always forget to do this. Chat. If you guys can suggest a raid channel, that'd be awesome. I would like to support. And this is just general good etiquette and just growing the Melee scene. Before you ever close, you want to raid the stream so that the viewers can go watch something else, and that we grow other people's channels as well.
Let's do it.
So,
I think Pew Pew is doing a stream.
Pew Pew. Is he still playing that White Marth?
No, he's done.
He's done. Okay. I would have not considered it if he was...
Still playing that gross White Marth? Yeah.
Oh, gosh. Like, take your 1,000. I'm not supporting you. Okay.
It's over. The White Marth is dead, and he's doing a little post on my only stream. We should give him some support. He got 4th place. Huge deal. Just behind the sponsored players. And he came so close to beating Leffen, which is like, I don't know. It's so cool.
It was so sad. I just wanted him to have one shot at playing Yoshi's or Fountain, and I thought he could have done it.
Yeah. I think it's really impressive. Like, most of their games, a player that's not sponsored versus a player that's full-time playing this game and is sponsored is like, there's no chance. It just doesn't happen. Like, there's huge shout-outs. I mean, obviously, Leffen's only been sponsored for a bit, so I'm not going to, there's no knock on him, but it's just super cool. Just super, super cool. Good shots, PPU.
And it was a fun weekend. It was like a pleasure to hang out with you, plus Alicia, plus Brian Tran, the usual crew. Yeah, it's amazing.
It was cool to see you. Cool to see all the homies. Smash tournaments are just fun on so many levels. The games are usually really fun to watch. Everyone that comes out, so they're all friends, and we get to talk. And just, there's a lot of things that make this scene really fun to be a part of. So.
Yeah. Alrighty. So we're closing out. Thank you for everyone. Thank you all the Sheik maidens that came out. Thank you audience. Thank you Fly. Thank you Gar for giving advice. This is like has turned into 22-2, and yeah, let's.